Hey, Tenafly, how are you? My name is Stacy. I am your local real estate expert. I'm with the Stacy Esser Group, and I'm going to do a deep dive into the residential real estate market here in Tenafly. And I am going to look at 3 time frames for us to dive into the data. And again, like, you might not even be thinking about selling or buying, but if you're a homeowner in Tenafly, understanding what's happening with probably your most expensive asset or one of your most expensive assets is always a good thing. And it is literally the question I get wherever I go. What's happening with the real estate market? So let's take a look at it. I think there's some really cool information. So stay tuned. We're going to get there. And also at the end, I'm going to give you an offer that I hope that you take me up on. So hang out with me for a little bit. Now, so let's start with some key market indicators. First, we're doing number of homes sold. And this is an interesting one, and it might surprise you. Maybe you thought we sold a lot more houses than this, but Tenafly, right after the housing crash, which is 08-09, we sold about 125 units. And then more normal market, 18-19, you could see we sold about 135 houses. And right now we've gone to about 147 houses, 23-24. I'm going to look at all of the data with those 3 time frames because it's so interesting to see the difference between those 3. Like right after a housing crash, what would be considered a quote unquote normal market, 18-19, and then into 23-24. We could sell more homes than that. We don't have the inventory to do it. So we have more demand than we have supply, despite the sticky higher interest rates. So you can see how that factors in when you're looking at this months of housing inventory. Months of housing inventory means essentially if no other product came to the market, we would sell out of everything we had in whatever the month of supply is. So we have enough inventory to last us 13.9 months. This was 08-09. And then we came down to 12.4 months in 18 and 19. But now at what would be considered like the peak of the season, because this data was run June to June, we only have 2.4 months of supply, and we're not going to rush back up with inventory. We don't start seeing a flood of houses come to the market like in July and August, September. We start to trend down with inventory as we get out of the spring season. What's just so interesting about it is that 2.4 months at the peak of the season is an unbelievably low number. So again, great time to be a seller, very difficult time to be a buyer. That translates to 28 homes on the market. That's 28 homes on the market. You could see what was considered to be a normal time, a normal number of homes on the market in the peak of the season would be about 156 houses. And we are down to 28 houses on the market. Average days on the market before a house goes pending. So this is just, again, showing the significance of what a real, true seller's market looks like from multiple perspectives. And that is 08-09, houses just took longer to sell. Any house that's taking north of 90 days to sell. I mean, that's a long time. And then you go back to 2018-19, and now you're at 72 days. We're coming into like what's more of a normal time frame for a house to go on the market and then sell. And of course, here you have how many days it's taking now, 33 days. Some houses are gone in a week. Some houses are gone, past 30 days. But again, this is the average that we've been going at, 33 days. And this also will vary price point wise. You know, the higher the price point, it tends to take a little bit more time on the market. The lower the price point, it tends to happen quicker. So if you're interested in, how long things take to sell and what your time frame is going to look like, that's a good one to take a look at. The most interesting one, of course, is pricing. Now, here you can see the shocking jump in price, in median price sold in Tenafly. And when we came out of 08-09, we were at $728,000 was the average price point. 2018 and 19, we were at $885,000 in a median price point. And as of June, we were at $1.44 million in a median price point sold in Tenafly. And that is a shocking number. I just want you to look at this a little bit differently for a minute, okay? if you take the amount of appreciation from 08, 09, 720,000 to 23, 24 to 1.44 million, and you stretched it out over that entire window of years and divided it by the number of years, we would be appreciating at about 4.4% a year. Now, that is actually within range of average. The thing that shocks us all is that the bulk of that appreciation happened here in such a short period of time. So it just like hit us like a truck, right? But again, if you take the appreciation we saw from 08, 09, all the way through 23, 24, and you divide it amongst all those years, we would be increasing at a rate of about 4.4 in appreciation, and that is within the average of what the Fannie and Freddie would consider normal, like 3 to 5% a year of average home appreciation. So, are we so far above the trend line at this point at 1.44 million? No, we're actually not. We just picked it so much of it up in such a short period of time that it just is very jarring. And of course, we know there's a lot of affordability issues, and it's very painful right now to be a buyer because prices have gone up way faster than earnings have gone up, and of course, interest rates have been pretty sticky at about 7%. So all of that has been pretty painful. And remember, most sellers are also buyers, which is why we don't have the inventory we need to have. So new listings in Tenafly, you could see we had about 187 new listings as opposed to 372 and 288. Again, you're looking at a shortage of supply, not a shortage of demand. And lastly, we're going to look at what houses are selling at off of their original list price and their final sale price. And this tells us where your house needs to be priced in order to trigger the most amount of bids. And this is, you could see in 08, 09, you could have a house priced north of 10% away from its bullseye price, and you'd be fine. And here you could see we're back to like under 10%. There was about under 10% negotiation room from the original list price to the final sale price. But look here, this is a really interesting and strong key market indicator. So when you're a buyer, you know that houses are selling within a couple of points of their list price. And when you're a seller, you need to know that your market price has to trigger the bid. It should trigger the bids and be competitive to the buyer with only a couple of points of negotiation. So if you price your house, assuming you're going to need 5, 7, 8% room for negotiation, you're pricing your house in the wrong market, the market of 08, 09. That's not the market we're in. So you need to price your house the way that the buyers understand pricing. Think like a buyer, win like a seller. Win like a seller. Think like a buyer to win like a seller. Let's look at the last data point here, which is that final list price to sale price, which shows us after there's any kind of price reduction, now where are those houses selling to the final list price to after they sell. And you could see we no longer have a 10% spread. Even in 08, 09, we got to 8%. That was where the houses needed to be. And and 18, 19, you could see we're somewhere between 5 and 7% needs to be for that targeted. This is how I'm going to get the most amount of ready, willing, and able buyers. This is like how far away I need to be. If I'm further than that, I'm probably going to be missing my target buyer and definitely not get the most amount of attraction and exposure and buyers in my house. And here, 2023-24, we are still like within 2 points of where that house is selling at is where it needs to be listed at. So if you're listed and you're getting bids 5, 10% lower, don't take the bid, lower your price, be more competitively priced, and you'll actually get more money for your house. And so I hope this was helpful. And listen, I am all about helping people. This is the offer, with a strategy to help you win in real estate. And if you're considering your next move, you're unsure about your next chapter, then what I want you to do is text strategy to 201-292-0011. And basically I will take the time and we'll learn about your goals. We'll build you a strategic plan. We're going to help you put that plan into action, and you will walk away with a tailor-made success plan. And that's all complimentary. And it's just really helpful for you to understand, what your options are, what this looks like for you. It can be a very, very overwhelming process, but again, we are here to help. So text strategy to 201-292-0011, and let's start that conversation. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope it was helpful. I'm Stacy with the Stacy Esser Group. Be well. Bye.